Welcome to the Town of Auburn Open Space Committee meeting for Monday, June 7th. I'm going to do a roll call to see who's here. We'll start with Mark. Are you present?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Excellent. Scott? Nathan, are you here? Dominique had mentioned she wasn't going to make the meeting, and I am Stephen Chambers. Is town planner here? Adam, you here?
I am here.
Excellent. So we're present. We have a quorum, and we're about to take it over to Adam for the open space and recreation plan. Adam, go ahead.
Thank you, Steve. So, again, my name is Adam Menard. I'm the town planner. I have a presentation for you regarding the open space and recreation plan that's currently being updated. This committee has been working for the past 6 or 7 months, 8 months, updating the plan, and this is one of our last public opportunities to provide feedback. We'll be having a few more committee meetings, but this is kind of a presentation to explain to everybody what the plan is, why we need it, and some of the results of the survey that was conducted back in April. So what is open space? Open space could be any number of things, including conservation land, forest land, farmland, town parks, town recreational areas, water protection areas, such as those owned by various water districts, and other open green space, such as that picture is of the Worcester diversion channel that cuts under Packagug Hill, and that image is right by the Worcester line. Other areas could include cemeteries, places, even grassy strips along roadside is considered green space, such as bioswales and rain gardens. So an open space plan. This is a plan that is generally required by the state. It's required to be updated every 7 years to remain an updated plan. The current plan that has been updated was approved by the state in 2014. So an open space plan helps the town guide the protection and management of natural lands within a town. It allows municipality to maintain and enhance all the benefits of open space. The plan helps create a greenway network that simultaneously will improve the quality of life in its neighbors and mitigates greenhouse gases through carbon storage. The plan also lays out goals and aspirations of the community. It can advocate for protecting natural lands and support wildlife, recreational areas, and ecosystem services, and outlines pattern of land development to support them. So why do we need a plan? Basically, it provides a roadmap to complete future projects. Planning process includes public feedback, such as this public forum, as well as our regular committee meetings and the survey that was conducted a few months ago. Certain grants require an approved plan, so it's really important that the town work to receive state approval of the plan, work and update. It assesses the land we have and considers what the town wants, and identifies opportunities that we can use to improve what's already existing or to develop new recreational opportunities and preserve the environment. So plan requirements include an environmental inventory and analysis. This is a thorough cataloging of all land in Auburn. See what we have for both town-owned land and private land, and what the status of that land is. Inventory of all lands, which includes all town-owned property, includes water district property, includes private land that may be chapter land, includes other private land that may be counted towards as conservation land or open space. And it works with the town to develop goals and objectives and lays out an action plan to meet those goals and objectives. And it's the last two items that we're really focusing on. We focus on this meeting and the last few meetings and the next month or so going forward. So what does the town want? What does the community want going forward? And what can we plan for and improve over the next 7 years? So the opportunities is to assess the land we have. That's one of the Veterans Memorial Parks. Considers what we want, identifies the opportunities that we can do in the future, and plans for the town's future for the next 7 years for the term of this plan and going forward into the future. Some of these projects take many years to complete. Open space. The open space plan includes all Auburn open space regardless of ownership. As I already mentioned, the Auburn Open Space Committee is leading the development of the plan, but parklands owned by other entities are included and are invited to contribute. Goals and objectives for the future of our parks and open space. How do we take care of what we have? What are we lacking and where? And what do we need to do better? These are questions that were asked in the survey that was conducted, and these are questions we're going to be asking for the duration of this plan development. That is a picture of the brook right behind the high school. This is a map of the town-owned, mostly town-owned open space. It includes municipal, private, and nonprofit space as well. This plan was put together by Central Mass Regional Planning Commission. Kind of highlights how much land is considered open space in town, and there is a lot. So, the framework of the goals and objectives. These are 5 general broad categories that are the framework for the goals. Protect the water resources, expand and improve existing open space and recreational resources, protect environmentally sensitive areas, continue the maintenance and management of existing facilities, our parks and fields, playgrounds, and public awareness of the merits of conservation and preservation. Basically making the public aware of what we have and the ways they can do their part to protect the natural environment. So some of the open space survey findings, these are some of the questions that were asked. I'll go through a few of them to kind of give you a sense of some of the feedback. I'm happy to share the results of the survey with anyone that would like it, and it will be posted on the town's website the next week or so. And we had good results from the survey. About 185 or so people responded. So thank you to those who responded. So 3 favorite recreational or open space facilities in Auburn. This was a list that was given to them, and I'm not sure it's surprising. It wasn't surprising to me to see that the Pappas Complex was the top, 30%. The Landscape Park was next with 24%, and the high school was third with 16%. Thought they were the favorite 3 spots, and the other spots kind of fell in the single digits. Rate your overall satisfaction of the facilities. I won't go through all these, but there's a general sense that for the most part, people were satisfied or found the facilities acceptable. Only a few areas seemed to be lacking. One of them was the variety of bike paths, as well as walking trails and footpaths. We have taken note of this kind of lack of these facilities and including it as a goal and actionable items going forward. The town does want to try to expand these facilities. So would you support a greater use of green infrastructure to protect the natural resources such as rain gardens, bioswales, impermeable pavers to improve stormwater runoff? The vast majority said yes, with a good percentage saying maybe. There's a big push by the town administration to help improve stormwater, to improve the stormwater management. Town meeting just passed the update to the stormwater bylaw. That was a big step to come up to speed with what the EPA requires, and we're going to be taking further action to maintain stormwater. Would you like to see the town make greater effort to remove invasive or non-invasive species? And the vast majority, 60%, said yes, and about a third were not sure. It's difficult to remove invasive species, and we don't have control over, but one step I can tell you that town administration is taking, and something I'll bring to the planning board at some point in the near future, is to update subdivision regulations. There are several plants that are listed in the subdivision regulations that are recommended that developers use. Some of those plants that are listed are out of date. We want to make sure that those plants are removed so developers don't plant these particular species. Including one of them is a maple variety that is at risk from the Asian longhorn beetle infestation that has been in the area. So we are taking steps already to try to address this issue. What recreational or open space opportunities would you like Auburn to pursue? This was kind of a general question in the survey. Some of the responses are listed here. I didn't list all of them. There are many great responses, but these seem to be had more comments, including hiking, walking trails, bike trails, some kind of canoe, kayak launch or fishing area, more sidewalks and bike lanes, a splash pad or swimming area, public gardens, picnic areas, or disc golf. Disc golf was mentioned as a possible use for the Southold Road property. So again, town administration is certainly taking note, and we'll be including these as possible action items to pursue or to try to see if it's feasible. And you know, we're looking for comments. Anybody watching this recording, please feel free to reach out to me or any of the open space committee members. We do want to hear what you think we should be doing over the next 7 years or more. Your input is included. We do take note. And that's really the issue of my presentation. I don't think there's anybody from the public on the call. Again, please feel free to contact me, reach out to me. Thank you.
Adam, I do want to open it up to the committee members if they've had any conversations with anyone. And then I do believe that Todd has joined as a member of the public as well. So we can open it up. I don't know if, I do see Nathan, you're here now. I don't know if you had any comments or conversations with anybody recently and want to add to this presentation.
The feedback I'm getting is, in line with the survey, walking trails. Did have an interesting conversation about, using some of the conservation land that we have and possibly, using it as an education space to teach, everyone, the entire community about the need for that and the benefit of some of the swamp areas we have in town and some of the wetlands we have, and maybe highlighting, what that does for the community.
Oh, thank you. Mark, how about yourself? Did you have any other conversations or want to add to this?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
The only thing I was asking, where's the walking trail around Dark Brook Reservoir? There's been mention at the Conservation Committee meeting. We're looking at, there's an old abandoned railroad right away. Part of that right away, I think borders, is right near Dark Brook, if I'm not mistaken. We were looking to talk to the water district who owns part of that right away, as well as Mass Electric, who owns the other half of the right away, to possibly come to some agreement to make that into a walking trail that will connect the middle school to the west end of town near the Oxford line.
I think they're saying something that was around the pond, around that little pond. Some kind of walking trail.
Yeah, Mark, I
have
don't
to-
official walking trail. I think it's an area, a pathway that people are using as a walking trail. And the point in the conservation committee meeting was just that, people are, as we've seen in a lot of walking trails, using it and just throwing their garbage all over the place. And they were looking to us to have someone clean it up. But as Adam said, that's not town-owned property. It belongs to both the Water District and Mass Electric.
Okay.
Excellent. Scott, how about yourself? Have you had any conversations?
No, I just like to say, great presentation, Adam. That's a lot of work put into that, so thank you. No, I've tried to talk it up, but no bites in town.
So I did post it to Facebook on a couple of the town community sites about the meeting. I was hoping that more people would join. There were some conversations around getting Rotary Beach cleaned up and trying to use that. I know we've talked about potential uses in this committee as well. So just want to make sure that the community does know that we have talked about it and we're looking at additional things as part of the overall plan, but nothing specific. And then I'll open it up. Todd, I see you joined. I don't know if you had any specific comments or wanted to provide some insight.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Todd Corain, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a member of the planning board, but I'm speaking for myself only. I'm a resident of Hampton Street. And I have had a conversation with Stephen recently and discussed actually Rotary Beach. So I just wanted to make sure it's on your radar. This is something that if you look at the some of the three things on the mention that Adam had on one of his slides, that the community is looking for picnic areas, potentially swimming areas, and then kayak and canoe launches. This is something that Rotary Beach has the potential to serve. I know there in the past has been water issues. I do not know the last time that the water has been tested, whether it's swimmable in this area. But I think that's something that the town, should be exploring. I know that, that it's not the water body, I believe, is owned by Auburn Water District and not the town. The property is owned by the town, so there's some coordination there. But I drive by there often and I look at it as a lost opportunity, even if it's not able to be a swimming area with, some cleaning up of the vegetation. It could easily be a nice picnic area with picnic benches. You could install the grills that you see at DCR parks or, to create a sort of a park area. There's already a structure there, a building. I assume there's power going to that building that could probably be turned into, bathrooms. My guess is it probably once was bathrooms back in the day. And if it becomes, I know the town also has control of the parcel directly across the street that used to be a parking lot. So you could look to, if it is, that popular, you could look to recreate that parking area to encourage use of the new recreational facility. I know some people are concerned about crossing the road safely. That's sort of something that I do professionally, and for another community in Massachusetts. And there's certain ways that you could create safer crosswalks there, besides just signage, pavement markings, in-street pedestrian crossing stanchions. If you want to go as far as a raised crosswalk, you can look at that. And also just rectangular rapid flash beacons, which are solar powered. So they don't use electricity. They are pedestrian actuated, so they're only flashing when the pedestrian is walking, so the neighbors aren't bothered all night long with flashing lights, etc. So I just want to make sure that the potentials for Rotary Beach are being explored to the fullest extent possible. I know there are issues whether it be ADA accessible. If you recently, if you go down the Cape, they are using these ADA mats that you could easily roll out, and they created ADA compliant surface to allow wheelchairs to access water areas, or even, you can use those around to access different parts of the picnic benches. They're now ADA compliant picnic benches that can be purchased that have a longer end on one side, so the wheelchair can roll right up to them. So there are ways to manage the ADA issue as well. So I just want to make sure that the town is exploring the benefits that Rotary Beach could offer. Thank you.
Todd?
Go ahead, Mark.
Mr. Chair? I agree with 100%. I used to swim there in the 60s and 70s, and it was a hopping place. It was a nice place to go swimming. I even took swimming lessons there too. There was a bus that went around the town, picked us up. So I think they could be open. I'd like to see it open.
So I agree. We should definitely make sure that's explored and provide that feedback to the town on behalf of the residents. Can you guys still hear me? I think my computer
Yes.
froze.
Yep, we
Okay.
gotcha.
Excellent. Sorry, I didn't want to just keep speaking and have it drop out. You know, again, we did the surveys, and I think that potential area has so much to offer that even if the swimming aspect, Mark, isn't something we can bring back, it is an outdoor space that we can utilize. And I believe one of our first meetings we had talked about the walking trails and trying to spruce that area up. So something that we should definitely bring forward. I did see the town manager joined. I don't know if Ms. Jacobson, if you had anything to add, or we can fill you in at where we're at, what we've discussed thus far.
Hi all, nice to see you. Well, nice to kind of see you, right? Hopefully all soon. I apologize, I had another meeting, so I just got back to my desk. So I was just gonna watch with interest what you're presenting this evening. And my only addition to it is I just want to thank you all for the work that you're putting into this. This is really important to do this update. We first took this on several years ago because the town initially didn't have an open space plan that had been approved. So we weren't eligible for state funding. So this is really important to keep this plan current because it does give us the opportunity to apply for state dollars, even though they're limited. We need to have an open space plan in place. So we want to thank you for all your work on it. So no, thank you, Stephen. My comments are just to thank you, and out of curiosity, just to hear what the residents are looking for and what are their priorities going to be as well. And hopefully, you know, I hope that you've been able to get some feedback from the residents. I'm not sure. I'm looking at this. I don't see anyone logged on yet, but at least you are putting the effort in to get the information out to the public. So thank you.
Thank you. So we did put it out on social media, or at least I did, and had some feedback around Rotary Beach. There was some mention of potential disc golf at Southhold property. I believe there's still some limitations, but the plan for 7 years out will cover that duration. And if we're going to look to utilize that space, we should definitely have a plan in place. So I think, what are we, 3 years away from that? Adam, I don't know if you.
Just about. I think it was, we actually closed on that land in 2015, around March or April. And, 10 years would bring us to 2025, 8 years into a loan, a municipal bond, you can actually start looking at utilization of the property for non-municipal use. But prior to that, you can't. So 8 years would be 2023. You could start to look at something if the town wanted to do that. As far as looking at it for disc golf, it's great that you said that, because we've had a couple conversations about it in the last couple of years, that it would make a great location for something like that. And that's something that is a municipal use. So with the funding that we have now, the borrowing on that, we wouldn't be restricted from doing something like a disc golf unless it was a commercial enterprise, and then that would change that.
Excellent. Does anyone else have anything else to add about the presentation, or other conversations or things that might have been sparked as we've continued?
I'll just reiterate, Steve, if I could, if anybody has any thoughts or questions or comments, to reach out to myself or any of the members of the board. this will be broadcast on YouTube. On cable is good enough to film this as always. I'm easily accessible, so feel free.
Adam, and I know we're updating this plan, but is the old plan easily searchable for people if they wanted to review and maybe recollect some things that they wanted to bring up?
Yes, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's under the Open Space Committee's site on the town webpage. I just need to go to the town webpage under government, and it's under Open Space Committee. They could also do a search on the town website, just type in open space and it should pop up.
Excellent. And hopefully, again, the people in the community that submitted to that survey, if they wanted to look that up and see what it was previous as well, and provide additional feedback. So how much longer will they have to provide feedback before this plan gets finalized?
I would say end of the summer, August 30th, 31st. My goal, and this is my goal, there's no set timeline, but my goal is to have the plan written by the end of the summer and submit it to the state for their review early to mid-fall. That's my rough timeline. So they'd have all summer to submit comments, really.
Thank you. And I'll encourage the rest of the committee members to reach out as well and have additional conversations and try to get some feedback on this. Does anyone have anything else regarding the public forum, or are we ready to move on?
Just lastly, we said it was what the power company for those walking path that we're looking at from called Blaker Street to the middle school.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I looked at the assessor's map. I believe it's Mass Electric that owns it.
Okay.
Owns half of it. The other half is on Water District.
Okay, so that'd just be easements and then making sure it's a clear path, because we have probably 300 plus residents to be in town over on that Blaker Street project that they're really kind of disconnected from a lot of the town, I feel like, and that'd be a nice little connection to the middle school and all the parks that it offers over there.
Great, that's kind of my thought process.
I did want to touch on something I think Nathan brought up about trash around Darkbrook. And I know 2020 was a challenging year and we didn't necessarily have large groups go out and provide community service with picking up trash. I did see something earlier this year about organizing things for Earth Day. I don't know, Adam, do you know if anything additional is being done with trash pickup or Earth Day activities or other community events like that?
I believe DPW had postponed the townwide cleanup day, or days, I'm not sure if it's multiple days, to the fall. I'm not sure if they have a specific weekend planned. Aside from that, that's all I'm aware of. I can defer to the town manager. I'm not sure if she has anything beyond that.
Adam, off the top of my head, I don't know. I know the chamber does their cleanup every other year. I don't know what their plans are because of COVID. I know a couple of weeks ago, there was an effort made, I believe it was on a Saturday, and some town employees were out doing some cleanup. I don't know if it was specific to that area, Stephen, so I can check into it.
No, and I didn't have to be specific to that area. I do love that the community is coming together and doing cleanups. And if people did have concerns around that, I mean, it's a shame that there is trash. I know I have to pick up trash from in front of my house quite often, but it is the world we live in. But anytime we can organize community events like that to help out and pick up the trash, I think that's helpful. So glad to see them. Hopefully there's more in the years to come, and hopefully the people that voice their concern are willing to help organize events to clean up that.
No, I think you're right. I can tell you that we had some complaints. It was right around the start of COVID of some trash and debris being dumped and left near the Harbor Mall property. And we had contacted the mall and they very good about it. They went out, cleaned it up fairly quickly.
No, I think we did lose you, Steve.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was me or anyone else. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I'm happy that we're trying to do those things. And again, I'll encourage people to try to do more of it. And it starts with throwing your own trash out in the proper receptacles as well. And I'll give it one last time for the public forum aspect of the meeting. Anyone else have anything that they'd like to add? All right, I think that was sufficient enough silence to say that we're ready to move on to the meeting minutes. I believe we are still waiting on them, so no action taken.
Get any of those completed, I apologize.
Okay, so we'll continue that to the next meeting. New or business or unforeseen by the chair. Adam, I know Dominique's not here, and she did send the message about the water quality, and I don't know if you had a chance to look into that or respond to anything, or if we'd like to continue this to our next meeting. But the residents did receive the letter from the water department about the water quality and the actions that they were taking. And I think she had some concerns around the speaker that was at the meeting previous. I don't know if there was any action or any information you could provide.
They're a separate entity from the town, so if anybody has concerns regarding that you received, I'd suggest you contact them directly. They do have a new water district superintendent, Greg Woods. So I suggest contacting them would be the best scenario.
Okay, thank you. And I know it does kind of tie into the Leesville Pond water cleanup program that you did, and what we can do to help maintain the water quality from residential standpoint, and on the actions we can take to not fertilize or use different types of materials on our lawns and prevent runoff. And as part of this as well, I think with that runoff and the creation of biodiverse culverts, and I don't know all the terminology there, it's escaping me at the moment, but we do have plans of action to help develop that and help filter impurities before making it back into the water supply. Correct?
Correct. I will say that the MVP setup we had at the town election was well received. Somebody pulled out by while they're out voting. The posters that were on display are now set up at the library, so they'll be set up there for probably at least a couple of weeks. It looks nice. It's right as you walk in the front doors. You'll see all the signage. So it's nice of the library director to set that up for us. That grant will be closing out the next couple of weeks. We'll be wrapping that phase up, but we'll still be working on stormwater. That's not going away. There are a lot of requirements that the town needs to meet, so we're working diligently on those.
Thank you. Does any other member have anything they wanted to add before I turn it over to Adam for any town plan?
Steve, just that
I'll go with Mark first. Sorry.
Do they spray the weeds over in the pond there over at Leesville?
Yes, I think they actually did that this year. The DPW does treat the aquatic weeds. I don't know if they do all when they do the pond normally, but I know they did Leesville this year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Scott?
No, just Steve, that I agreed with you that I think we should take Dominique's questions she posed and kick those over to next week. Initially, I very much was, the initial lawyer in me said, we have no jurisdiction over this matter, though I see the correlations between what we're doing and the issues she raised. But that said, where do we start and who has jurisdiction? And I think we should at least get the conversation started. I plan to do the same thing with the select board, because a lot of residents do have questions on that. So I think we should, whatever boards are asked about it, should do what they can to try and get some answers to it.
Okay, thank you. I agree with that. Again, I think if it continued to pose a danger, as soon as they know they took the right action, and I think they notified us. So I don't think there was anything malicious in there. I do think, again, as part of the education, and maybe it is that the water district that takes some education and lets the community know what's involved and what's acceptable and what's not. I think that helps. There are a lot of Facebook lawyers out there. So again, I'm not a water quality expert, but that's something, again, if we can educate the rest of the community as well, and maybe we can ease some of those concerns. All right, Adam, do you have anything?
Yes, I have one short thing about the summer schedule. Normally we'd be meeting on July 5th next. That is the holiday weekend, and July 4th, Independence Day is on a Sunday. That's often, I'm not sure if the town is doing it, but businesses observe that holiday on the Monday following that Sunday. So my recommendation would be not to meet that evening and push the meeting off until August. I'd like some time to do some of the work on the plan over the next month and a half or so. So that will give me some time to focus on that and get some drafts out to the committee to review before the August meeting.
As well as get all the emails that come in after this meeting, right? Because everyone's going to reach out, and hopefully they do. Hopefully you're not too inundated, but I don't have any problems. We'll take a roll call, see if anyone else has any problems. Scott, are you okay with moving the meeting till August?
I'm absolutely fine with that. I think Adam should try and get a few days off in between then too.
Okay. Nathan, do you have any concerns with moving the meeting to August?
No, I have no concerns. I'm fine with moving it.
Okay. Mark?
I have no problems. Will we be meeting in town hall?
Probably. That's, I know, as of right now, all meetings are supposed to be in person after June 15th. Unless something changes with the legislation, I would say we most likely would be in person.
Okay.
Okay. So Adam, when you send out the agenda for the meeting, it will note whether it's in person or online.
Yes, if it's in person, I'll remove the meeting access information, have the location, whether it's the planning board or board of selectmen room on the agenda.
Excellent. Okay. So Adam, I am also in favor of going to the August meeting. So I think we can schedule that. Excellent. And I'll give everyone one more opportunity before we adjourn. Anyone have anything else they'd like to add?
I'll just add to the chair, thank you for viewing this. Thank you, Todd, for attending, and Julie Jacobson for tuning in. And please feel free to contact me with any questions. Happy to answer them.
And that, Adam, what's your email address? Do you want to just state that one more time?
Sure, it's amenard, AMENARD @town.auburn.ma.us. And
Thank
if you can't remember all that, or it's on the town website also under the planning board department.
Excellent. Appreciate that. So I'll take a vote to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Excellent. Mark, yes or no?
yes.
Excellent. Nathan?
Yes.
Excellent. Scott?
Yes.
And myself, Steve, it's a yes. So thank you. We'll see you guys in August. And again, reach out to the community members and try to make Adam get some more emails and input into this plan. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great job, Steve. Great job, Adam.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Thanks, Adam. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.